There you go. I'm recording. Did it have permission?
Okay. I'm just gonna set a timer, make sure that I hit my time limit we gotta go. Uh, so this will go off. But hey, man, as much and maybe we need to talk about technology. Maybe that's next week.
Maybe, yeah, maybe catching up to kids.
Basically, this is my grad class. I got to go through like some teacher interactions. I'm just going to introduce you so that the person that's looking at my video kind of knows you. So, Aaron Schock is our cross country coach. Been coaching for I want to say it's like 4 or 5 years now at Klein Oak as a head
This
coach.
is year five,
And so,
19 overall.
Coach Shock and I, we go back to days in Oak Ridge, so I feel like it's going on. It's got to be 10 years, I think.
Yep, 20,
17,
18, 8.
16, 16, 17. Next year, 10 year maybe.
Yeah, so I got there 16. So coming up on 10 years, I guess.
And then, what subjects do you teach?
Currently sociology, and then on-ramps U.S. history class.
Okay, and so your schedule. How does your daily schedule line out then?
So typically we're gonna coach teaching combined. You typically roll in about 5:45. uh, make sure everything's opened up for the kids. They get there, around the same time. Getting in there at 6, we start practice. We're out to the track, or the course, wherever that may be, and we've got practice typically about an hour and 15 minutes. Up until the start of school is about 7:15. That's usually when we're headed in. Shower up, get ready for first period at about 8, 10 after 8. So they got about 45, 50 minutes to get ready. And
Okay.
then it's off, directly off to second period, where I've got first section of sociology. Second through sixth will be, excuse me, second through fifth will be sociology. 4 classes of that, about 32 in a class. No, 8 times 4. Yep, 32 in a class. And then we've got a section of the U.S. history sixth period, which is the on ramps, or whatever, dual credit class. Excuse me.
I know. So I know you
Through the University of Texas.
just
Yeah.
got done with your cross country meet today, and it sounds like you got a lot of other things. So like tomorrow, you got
Yep.
another track meet, and then heading up to A&M. It sounds like on Friday as well.
Yep. So going to Bridgeland tomorrow, picking up a bus tomorrow about 5:30,
Okay.
with the bus barn, and then off to shakeout for practice in the morning, and then loading up first run of kids at 6:45 and headed on over. Meet will start about 9, and then we'll be over there hopefully not past about 4 or 5 o'clock.
Gotcha. And so, like, the one of the things that we were kind of talking about before we got on this was just kind of how we can, like, this time of year, especially for you, it seems like can be overwhelming as far as just a lot of stuff thrown on your plate as far as athletics. You're one of our better coaches on there. And so just want to try to kind of understand what kind of things get frustrated from you from day to day as far as just kind of like some of the class loads and stuff, and then as far as how it goes with kind of going into meets, because basically you're going end to end, obviously 5:30 in the morning till shoot, we're talking right now after 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And so but this isn't that different where you're up till at least 10 o'clock.
Prepping for the next day, or
Correct.
checking results from the meet, seeing how we did tonight. Pretty much how
Right.
that goes. So,
And half of it's just adrenaline a lot of times, just kind
right.
of racing right.
Yeah. Keeping it going. Excited for the kids, see who did well, so you can talk about it the next day. So,
What would you say if you had like one or two just kind of frustrations throughout? What gets you the most frustrated right now with where it's at? Because things are kind of piling up on you.
well, I mean, as far as, I think communication, I
Okay.
think that's always a standard deal. If you don't have good communication across, from staff to staff member, as far as head coach to assistant coach, or, those in charge of, what your duties are, things changing, you obviously we roll with the punches as coaches and
Yeah.
teachers, but, I think as long as communication lines, are taken care of in advance, that's a lot easier. And then also, the other day I was thinking about something that got me frustrated is kind of the red tape that in the bureaucracy, for a big word there, I guess, but more so if there's an issue going on, whether it's facilities or, you know, just an issue with maybe it's a student or there's a problem occurring, being able to get to the person that can solve that or make a difference or give you the answer is difficult sometimes in education because you go through the lengthy chain of command. Hey, I need
Right.
to talk to this head coach. He's going to talk to the campus AD. Campus AD is going to talk to the principal or assistant principal. Is going to talk to the principal. Well, I know if I go talk to my principal, he's going to be able to give me the answer. But is that going to ruffle
Holding that
feathers?
information
That
down
kind
to
of stuff,
everyone.
whereas, hey, I just need to get this answer, and it can be taken care of very quickly and efficiently. But sometimes that chain of command gets in the way, or we need something fixed over here. Well, I can go to Home Depot. I can get this. I can go fix it in 15 minutes. But is that my job to spend my money to go do that kind of stuff? But as coaches, oftentimes hey, it's a 2 week process to get the maintenance man out there. Well, we hadn't had a scoreboard in 3 weeks. Parents
Right.
get a little upset about that, but we're waiting on a maintenance man to come along. So
Right.
just those kind of things are frustrating in education sometimes.
Right. And then how about just in general, like class, anything kind of going on? Can you give me one or two things just in class recently, maybe
Ooh,
that have popped up with different like things that I might be able to,
it's been pretty good to be honest lately.
okay,
Been It's
testing
been good
maybe?
because for the first time in probably the 19 years, this is maybe the second time at the most that I've had consecutive assignments that have been the same,
Okay.
so it's always kind of been something I've been willing to do. Hey, we need this teacher to do this. Well, I'm willing to do that, but that over the course of time, when you don't get that consistency or learning new material every year, making a new team every year, um, I know I have been kind of frustrated with that in the past, but this will be my second year with sociology, designing my own course curriculum, but some guidance from the district, but also collaborate with other teachers on different campuses to teach the same subject, and then how do I twist that, jive that in with what I want to teach. It's been pretty free and open, and supportive from my campus, so that's been nice, but I can say that having to or being willing to change uh, subject within maybe it's history, or I've been in special ed and then into history and then back into special ed kind of has been something that has not always been easy, but it's kind of what we do as educators. So,
In any ideal, I guess, if I could wave a magical wand, what would be your ideal like class teachings like schedule kind of that mixes in with your coaching? Obviously, I'm not gonna be able to do any of this, but like just
well, if you did have the
but
opportunity to
yeah,
make your own campus schedule, I having grown up in and gone to class in high school in a block schedule. There's an accelerated block, which I don't think
yeah,
that's much around anymore. That was fantastic. I think it's not very cost effective, from what I've been told, but that was, hey, I've got two cores, an elective and an athletic this semester, and the other two cores, elective, athletic, second semester. But then again, I'm not seeing my math teacher for maybe a year. So
yeah,
that's a
you could
whole
have
year.
that
And,
block. You could
then I
go.
think a lot of people have gone away from that to the alternating block schedule, which I've worked in as a teacher
Yeah,
and
me
really
too.
enjoyed that. I did that at Oak Ridge with you.
Yep.
Um, so you've experienced that as well, where you've got the Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then Tuesday, Thursday, flip flopping the alternate the next week. Um, I think that is preferred, in my opinion, over the traditional schedule, which I'm in now with the 7 period day, 45, 50 minutes a period. um, 7 classes, maybe 8, depending on the school, the design, for short periods. I think um, you can keep their attention easier for that 45 minutes, but you don't get to be as in depth. So if you're a better teacher, you're able to keep that classroom management going. You understand the kids understand the expectation. You can do labs, you can do projects, you can do the
Yeah.
extended one-on-one learning with the accelerated block. But again, keeping athletes keeping students' attention for 90 minutes it is a task.
Right. Like, so I guess like my biggest thing, because I know you so well, and it's I'm trying to learn from this as well myself. And so like I feel like if I were to go into a meeting, it's for one, I just want to listen to you and kind of hear out what you kind of hear and what's going on. And so, like, obviously, coaches and stuff, like, they always feel like, hey, coaches got it easy. Everyone loves a good coach. And so you want to make sure that, like, for one, you're taken care of, but at the same point, it doesn't feel like we're doing more for you just because you're a coach. But I do think, like, kind of knowing the like communication part that you're talking about, I think it would be really important for like us as the admin team to make sure that we're not assigning you duties kind of during this period.
Yes,
Obviously your duty schedule has to kind of happen throughout the year, but like I think we need to look at it in a strategic plan a little bit more, meaning obviously your busy times are August to October, that first week in November area, where there might be some times that are really good for you to kind of do duty, but like obviously the morning duty at the lunch, even though that you're down there, is probably not the best one for you.
right. Yeah, and I think we've been pretty fortunate on that end. I think there's been times where I have had duty, and what just went and talked to say I clearly I'm out on the track at
Yeah, right.
until 7:15. I cannot be in the cafeteria, and okay, well, oversight on our part. Well, reassign this or that, or just eliminate it, to be honestly altogether. I don't say have any daily duty. Um, but as a head coach on our campus, we were tasked this year with covering athletic events,
Okay.
to help break up that responsibility, for people, with parent management, facility management, know what key goes into what door. We need to get the officials here or
Right.
there.
Yeah,
But
I
what
helped
was
out with women's basketball a little bit
yes,
earlier this year. Yeah, I get what you're saying, and
and it was nice to okay. Here's the expectation. You're gonna cover
right,
2 games. What 2 games are you gonna cover? We get on there. You got to choose. So hey, in between cross country track season, okay, I covered a basketball game in December.
right,
No big deal. But I was able to kind of select that duty responsibility as opposed to being assigned something in the course of a season or something that's going on at championship time, or it's as we get as a teacher or as teachers that are in core subjects when you know big time testing season. We're doing star testing.
yeah,
That's
uh-huh.
their busy season, and if we
Algebra
can
one,
eliminate,
freshman.
yes, trying to
Yep.
get those freshman algebra kids to
Yeah.
do right. I mean, yeah, we're doing tutorials every morning. I don't have time. Can we work around? And I think that I've seen people able to work with our administration.
Right.
So
The
doing it.
other one I kind of wanted to hit on because like it's interesting knowing like the facilities, and so like I think it'd be interesting for me to kind of ask questions on how we're doing the facilities. Like obviously the Coach Carpenter's overseeing some of that, but like instead of you only going to Thomas for us to get things done, like what can we do to kind of help alleviate some of those issues? So like I think that's one thing that'd be another good thing to try to work on to figure out how we get those chain of commands. So or if it is some funding that how do we get you reimbursed for some of that stuff? I would love to go to block schedule. I'm with you. I love teaching in a block schedule. The obviously Klein's probably not moving that way anytime soon. Um, I think the last part of just trying to help make you be more comfortable is just that consistency part you were talking about with just
Mm-hmm.
your class load. I feel like if you had the same type of class load next year, you'd probably get more comfortable.
Yeah, yeah, I think
You get you taught it a
you're
couple times. You know what you're kind of
you
getting
know the
into.
material at this point. You're
Yeah,
able to, and when you're, especially with the some sociology, how we're going to teach this, touching on certain topics that are tasked with the teaks and so forth, and the
right,
expectations. Um, Obviously, it's a huge array of things. So picking and choosing what is interesting to the kids. Okay, now we have what's interesting to them. How can we best implement that?
right,
Is that through projects? Is that through tests? Is that through group discussion? Whatever that might be. I've already within the start of the fall of 24. Now we're in the or fall of 23. Now we're in the spring of 25. It's a semester class. This is my fourth time teaching the material, so it's
right,
in 2 years, it's like teaching 4 years accelerated. So I've already changed, tweaked, overhauled stuff that I did in the fall a year ago to what I'm doing now, and much more streamlined, much more effective in reaching those kids. So another year of
right,
that, and really kind of clicking it off pretty good. And at this point, comfortable to mentor other, another teacher at Klein who reached out. Hey, I'm teaching this. You have anything? Absolutely. Here's what I'm doing. Here's kind of my lesson plan up to spring break. I'm going to kind of sit down over spring break in about a week and a half and overhaul the rest of the semester, and really feel confident going into 2025, 26 with this kind of new plan that I've kind of implemented this semester. So
right. Well, we kind of hit our time limit. I'm just going to kind of wrap this up with just kind of basically going back through things. I mean, we probably hope didn't solve every world issue, but like the biggest thing I think that we need to talk, hopefully, I came away from this is just making sure that trying to communicate back to some of the other admins of just hopefully we're doing duties and stuff and making sure we're aligning with coaches on that part. I also think looking into the facilities issue to help you out with some of that might alleviate some stress that you have. And then honestly, just keeping your class load kind of consistent with how you're doing stuff and not switching things up. I think that would help just to help with that stress kind of that kind of comes naturally and save a lot of that. So,
sounds good.
man,
Appreciate your
hey,
support.
let's hope this thing saves as it records. Good luck tomorrow at Bridgeland and then at A&M.
All right, buddy.
Let
Sounds
me see
good.
how do I now I got to figure out how to stop this
I
recording.
just said stop recording there. So